you know, I bring a pillow.
You feel like Shawn Porter smothers his work a lot when he does all that, when he's aggressive and he gets inside?
I don't need to because you do and you ain't even a boxer. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like, we all know he does. That's the reason why he doesn't have the knockouts that I have, you know, is because he smothers his work, you know. Smart fighters win, dumb fighters lose, man. The most intelligent thing that Shawn Porter does and what he brings into the ring, the most intelligent aspect of his fight style is that I will outwork you. That is a form of intelligence. It takes hard work and determination, strength and conditioning to put yourself in the condition to make sure you can always outwork your opponents. That is a strength. It is a great strength of his. And it is smart to do such. It makes a tough battle for anybody. If you're being outworked, you're in a predicament, right? So at the end of the day, though, is how effective is his work going to be? You know, even in the Adrian Broner fight, it's not like he did anything. Let's be real.
Adrian beat himself.
It's not like he did anything. You know? As far as real damage to AB, anytime we're in the rounds, we're like, oh, you know? Even against Kell Brook, there wasn't a lot of headshots. Shawn Porter, for whatever reason lately, has not been throwing effective head shows and creating head dramas to his opponents. He outworks them, he smothers them and himself on the inside, constantly works the body with about a 5 to 6 punch combination, bringing 1 to 2 back up to the head, making it a 7 to 8 punch combination. Now if you threw 2 punches, you're behind, you know, you're behind. So that's really the strength of all of his strengths outside of his natural athletic abilities. He is a very athletic young individual. He's in his prime. He's strong. But the way he executes his attack is not as efficient as it could be. It has an effect, and they have their game plan, but ultimately, blow for blow, I do not see his punches as being very threatening.
Now, what do you say to the people that say, well, Keith was in trouble with Collazo. He hit him to the body. Keith experienced some power. Which I give you credit. People want to discredit. You didn't go down. You took a body shot, and somehow you're being discredited. But that being said, they feel now the body is the vulnerability. That's what Porter's good at. That's what Keith showed a vulnerable side at. That's the missing link. Like, that's how to be.
That's that. Now, first off, if you ain't thinking like that, then you ain't trying to, you know, find a path to victory, period. You know what I mean? You should think, okay, Keith was exposed with a body shot, but was it a body shot or a tremendous body shot? It was tremendous. It was one of the most perfect body shots I've ever been hit with in 20 years of boxing. It hit me perfectly well timed. There was no way that I could have avoided it in that moment. I simply had to endure it, which I did, which proves the strength within me to be able to take such a blow. But, you know, like I said about Shawn Porter having effective punches, I don't even know if Shawn Porter can throw a body shot that effectively because of his demeanor on smothering himself. If he continues to smother himself, he will never get a left hook to the body in the way that Collazo was able to perform a left hook, you know? You have to have the proper distance, and Collazo had that at that time, at that millisecond. He executed, and there was nothing we could do about it. But, you know, even if I was to go down, real champions get back up, and then you score that round in the scorebooks, and then you take it from there round after round after round. We saw Timothy Bradley get knocked down, what, 3 times by Pronovikov? 3 times? Get up and win the fight? So, you know, fans are gonna say what they're gonna say. I'm gonna fight the way I'm gonna fight, and we'll see how it ends at the end of the day, and then you guys can write up whatever form of articles you're gonna write up, you know what I mean?
Which brings me back to my other metaphor about you being a car and the fact that you have gears. Gears is something that we use in boxing as a metaphor as well. So you're 6-speed, now you gotta classify them. For instance, according to you, Shawn, just coming forward, so he's unfortunately an automatic.
He's automatic, right? He's an automatic. you know, for me, I'm always changing gears, and sometimes to change a gear can be as simple as to change an angle. You know, I'm gonna test Shawn from each and every angle. We're gonna go toe to toe. We're gonna go, I'm gonna be moving straight back, going toe to toe and side to side. And we're gonna see, you know, how that affects Shawn. If we got Shawn on his back foot, we're gonna see how he enjoys being pressured, you know. You got the first speed is the fastest of all gears, you know. And sometimes I've noticed that the eagerness to want to fight, there's been a few fights where I've exerted just a little bit too much energy in round one. You know, my first fight on HBO, I was hitting the kid, he gave me a reaction. I put my hands to my side, whatever, he comes in, I start swinging hard, I'm loading up, and we're trading back and forth, then I press him, and I drop some more bombs, really going for a first round knockout right then and right there, you know. And you know, it had its pros. It was very entertaining. It won me the round, but its con was, you know, just realizing later on in that fight how, you know, it just was a little unwise. So, you know, we're gonna go through these gears very wisely and, you know, do what we need to do to break Shawn Porter down and capitalize on knocking him out, man. You know, I believe that Shawn Porter fades, you know, by the 5th round. He still fights the same, but his movement slows down to a degree and his hands simply start to drop. So that's why the biggest thing for me going into this Shawn Porter fight is Shawn Porter's defense. When I fought Diego Chavez and I watched tape on Diego Chavez, I said to myself, oh yeah, so-and-so hit him and so-and-so dropped him. Well, I'm doing it too. As long as someone else did it, I'm doing it too. You know, if you're there to get hit, you're there to get hurt. And that's what we believe we're gonna do to Shawn Porter.
So you got excited when, not excited, but I mean, obviously surprisingly delighted that Broner, who was a smaller guy moving up in weight, a couple of divisions now, was able to drop a guy that you know from the amateurs that's fought as high as 165.
Yeah.
Was that shocking?
It was somewhat shocking to see the smaller Adrian Broner create that knockdown in the 12th round. You know, the most evident thing was the fatigue that was on Shawn Porter, the fact that he was a little square when he got caught. He went down and he got up pretty quick, you know, so I don't really think that he was severely hurt. I think he was maybe a little stunned and shocked from actually hitting the mat from the blow. But you know, it's always about hitting somebody right, hitting them at the right time. He caught him on the temple, you know. You got the temple, you got the chin, and you got the body, you know. So either way that we can get it, we're going for it. But you know, I did see on several occasions where Shawn Porter was getting caught coming in with Adrian Broner's left hook. When Shawn Porter got knocked down, it was AB lunging at Shawn Porter with the left hook off of a little almost Floyd Mayweather style, which we know he has to a degree. You know, it was like a pump jab turned into a fast left hook. You know, I like that punch as well. We're going to be looking for that punch. We're going to be looking for the left hook and just seeing how Shawn reacts. I believe that Shawn Porter is going to use a lot of his leg strength in this fight. That he's going to get real low. He's going to stay pressing with his head and his chin really low, kind of in my chest, similar to how he was constantly going towards Adrian Broner. You know, he might spend some time on the outside. I don't know if he has a boxing strategy. He might spend some time on the outside. We're just prepared for everything, like we always are, man.
But that falls into your game plan of the uppercuts. If he's going to be that low.
If it does, if he if he does it in time, if he gets there, then he can smother my punch, which benefits him, you know. But to be at that distance that he likes to be at, neither opponent can throw real effective punching. The thing is, that's when he outworks you and thus gets credited by the judges on the fact that, well, you're not really doing nothing, he's doing everything. It's a little sloppy, but we have the saying in the amateurs, an ugly win is superior to a pretty loss.
So I want to get your takes on this, right? He says, him being Ken, obviously, because he's more vocal of the two, that it's going to be difficult once you're in the ring to realize that it's going to be hard to get away from Shawn because of the speed. Because comparing Shawn, his legs, and him as a fighter to any other fighter that you faced thus far, Shawn is more of an athlete. He was a natural football player and all these other sports is what his father says. So he's going to be able to cut that ring off quicker. You believe that?
To a degree I do, you know. Kenny Porter and Shawn Porter work very hard on their footwork and their ability to cut off the ring. What they are lacking and taking into consideration is my ability to predict and read movement. And the one thing about cutting off the ring is he who cuts off the ring is always the person who moves second. So he's always following the leader. And just as hard as they think it's going to be hard for me to get away from Shawn, but I think it's going to be easy because, you know, almost like Curry, I'm simply going to step over, juke, and then throw my shots and then move again. You know, there's nothing